Hi friends, welcome to Bella's Stitchery. It's Tutorial Tuesday. I hope you have your top hat and monocle ready because today is all about steampunk. I'm going to show you how to make this card along with a few variations on it with just a few products. What? Yes. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing I did was to cut down an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock into my card base, which is 5 1/4. Then I lined the inside with, see this ivory here, kind of lightly inked it up with my dauber, just so I could write a sentiment inside against this dark brown. And then I'm going to use this paper from Stamperia. It is awesome. This is their Clockwork collection. And really, I love everything Stamperia does, but I like their steampunk aesthetic a lot. So I'll put a link to this in the description. I'm also going to show you an alternative to the card we're making today using the exact same paper. So you can get an idea of different style ideas from that same line. But look at how cute is this. I love the kind of text on here and the cogs and the clocks. It's awesome. Great for mixed media too. And then I liked this one because it kind of had this patina look to it that I thought would give me a little bit of contrast against the clocks. So I found a portion of that patina paper I liked, and I'm just going to put that down here. Actually, I'm not going to put it down because I'm going to cut this clock piece first. So I liked this part of the illustration. So I'm going to cut around this for my card. Just fussy cutting. If you've used Stamperia a lot, you'll know that their illustrations really lend well to fussy cutting and collage because they're already almost like their own mixed media art on a sheet. So it gives you a lot of cool options for making things without a lot of embellishments needed. You could just cut and layer them in fun ways. Okay, so I'm going to cut around this clock here and cut around this clock here. In a quick kind of way. And cut through here. I love this. I actually made this card for my dad this last weekend, and a couple people said, please tell me you're doing YouTube about it, because what's not to love about steampunk, first of all. And sometimes cards for like dads or husbands or brothers, they're a little bit tricky. Okay, so the reason I have this cutting mat out today is because I'm going to actually cut the interior of this, I guess, pocket watch so that I could see this detail even better. So I'm just going to use my blade like a pencil to trace the interior here. And I've said before on fussy cutting, you really should do this part of it before you cut out the main part. But here I am, being a rebel, doing it the opposite way. But as you can see, it does make your paper flimsier if you cut the exterior first. So the chances of this going terribly wrong have now increased. And we'll be able to see where it goes wrong in real time. So there we go. Perfect. Don't worry. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it with this same brown from my main card because I like matting things. I think it makes them pop more, and so that's why I'm doing it. That's the whole reason. So what I'm going to do is I want it to be the width of my card. So I'm going to hold this here, kind of decide where I want my clocks to go, and then I'm going to trim the borders here, so that it's the same size as my paper. See? Perfect. Now, I'm going to do my matting here. And I like to go as far down onto my paper as I can because I always like to save paper. I don't know if you feel that way, like, oh, it's up too high. I could have used this tiny strip for something. So I'm going to put it fairly low. I'm going to put some art glitter glue here, especially since you don't see it at all. I like to kind of save as much as I can for who knows what, some future project. Okay, so in this case, we'll cut the interior first. This is a little bit trickier, maybe more advanced fussy cutters. If you don't want to do this, you could just leave it solid brown in the middle, or just cut it along the exact measurements of your clock, if you know what I'm saying. Otherwise, you could attempt to leave yourself a little matted area, but it is a little bit trickier. Just take your time. So that's what I'm doing. It's hard to take your time when you're doing a video though, because I just feel like, you know, people run out of patience watching people do a lot of really slow, intricate things. So, you know, I try to hurry, and sometimes it just doesn't look that good. But in this case, it looks amazing. Okay, so then I'm going to trim my clock here, like so. You're just going to follow it along like this. I'll try to hold it up, see if you can see it better. Boom. We're going to come back through here. I find it's easier to do the interior detail stuff like this if I get most of the paper out of the way. If you're wondering why I kind of did it in a weird order. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now, love it. We're going to see, perfect, look at that. So now what I'm going to do is put this down on my card. Like so. Little art glitter glue. You could use any kind of adhesive you want, obviously. Put that down like so. It really is a fairly simple card. And I want this to stand up a little bit because there aren't a huge number of embellishments as far as flowers and things. I want to give as much impact as I can. So I'm going to use some packaging here to make these kind of pop up a little bit. For that, I'll use hot glue. Just throw that down on there. Instant recycling. Gotta love it. Save a turtle. Okay, we're gonna put that here, like that. Put maybe a little piece up like here. Whoops, like so. And one more little piece up on this clock. I love this trick. If you're not familiar with this trick, it is a total crafting game changer. Okay, now I have glue everywhere, but we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna put this down on our card now. Just like so. Okay, now the paper part is done. Now it's the really fun part. Are you ready? We're gonna make some metal looking cogs out of chipboard. So this chipboard set is called, it's from Scrapaholics. Let me see, Cogs, huh? Well, there you go, it's Cogs. I'll put a link to this also in my description. These are really cool. I bought 3 packs because I like how big they are. Obviously the Tim Holtz Cogs are also amazing, but they are smaller and metal. This is chipboard, which sometimes could be a little bit more economical, and the pieces are large. So, huzzah, they're awesome. Now, what I did to make these look so cool and metallic was to use the wax. Sorry, I glued myself. Okay, the wax from Prima. If you have not used these metallic waxes, let me just tell you, they are a delight. Because there's like a dozen colors. This is rose gold. We'll be using that. Bronze age. We'll be using that. Look at this. There's also like peacock and different purples. And basically I'm just adding things to my wish list all the time. Brushed iron, old silver. I'll put some links to the ones we're using today. It is really, really fun to use. And you can go over just about everything with them and make them look like metal. Resin, regular cutouts, frame die cuts. It's amazing. I do suggest, and I don't use gloves for many things, but I do suggest wearing a glove because you really want to get your hands in this. I think it's a better technique to really just spread it on whatever you're working with. So today, as I said, we're going to work with bronze age here, rose gold, And where's my, was it vintage silk? Oh, I like this vintage silk. Isn't that pretty? So I like working with different shades because real metal, even you'll see on these illustrations, it's not just one shade. And the more kind of variety you have, it just makes it look so like grungy and authentic. So what I do is I just take a chipboard. Oh, that one's already done. Let's get some chipboards here. Okay, you're going to use, I pick 3 different fingers and each one has its own color. Okay, you can go over it with some bronze. I'll try to hold it up so you can see. And you just rub it on there. It's very smooth feeling. I'm trying to think of what it feels like. It's not like a toothpaste. You could almost feel it's like silky. Then you take another finger, go in the rose, and I just put it over it. In any way you want. And then we'll take a third finger, go into the white here. I already messed it up because I got my other hand in it. And just adding the variety of shades makes it look dimensional in a way that just using one doesn't. You can. Look at, there's some with 2 shades, if you could see that. There's some. But I like to do it kind of different ways so that not only are the cogs different shapes, but they have kind of a different variation of color throughout as well. And this is so fast to do. You could easily just do a pack or 2 at a time in like a minute and a half. I'm going to do that. Put some of there. Put some on here. And this is really fun, like I said, because you could put this direct on paper. You could do this on anything and it takes the color so well and it just looks really awesome. Okay, so we've got some cogs here to play with. Isn't that cool? Have you used it before? What do you use it on? You can make cool jewelry. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so now that we've got some fun cogs, we're just gonna play with placement. I like going a little over. I like putting some under. I really like this one. So I'm gonna put this one here. Maybe put this here. I mean, they're quite large, which is great for scrapbooking too. I like giant pieces like this for scrapbooks. Okay, and we're just gonna do however you like it. Okay. And I think it just adds some dimension, gives it some texture, kind of brings it to life. So I'm gonna put some little hot glue on here. I'm gonna put some pieces down. Probably gluing this in like the hardest order possible. Because of course, video, haha. I'm never less coordinated than when I'm filming myself do something. That's why I don't do anything super dangerous or risky, because the minute I video it, you know what? It's not going to turn out well. I don't know what it is. I could do something 100 times. Then I'm like, I'm going to video this technique and everything's on fire. It's pressure, man. It's pressure. Okay. There's my card. Now I wanted to add a little sentiment as well. So for this, I stamped a happy birthday and I used this stamp set here. I'll put a link to this as well. It's actually for calligraphy practice, which is also cool, but I liked the style of script in the stamp. So I'll put a link to that if you like this style. And I'm just going to stagger these a little bit because I'm going to put some pearl drops. See the Nuvo drops? I like this copper penny color because it kind of goes with the style. And because it's a Nuvo drop and not actual pearls, I don't have to worry about running out and I could just use however many I want. No one can stop me. Okay, so I'm gonna put my little sentiment here. Okay, perfect. Then I'm gonna put some of these Nuvo drops around just to kind of, again, add some dimension, some different interest. I really just love embellishing things, and sometimes with a masculine card, if you will, or a steampunk style, it's a little bit limiting because, you know, it is more difficult to use things like lace or flowers, even buttons. So I like finding things that I can use that make sense with the style and just add a little something. So I'm going to put some here. Nuvo drops are fun. There's lots of fun colors too. Okay. And that is my card. Just that easy. I'm going to try to, I already messed up my Nuvo drop because it caught in my glue. So I'm going to do this. Just kind of scrape it over a little bit. There's my card. Happy birthday. A birthday has never been happier than right now, right here. And as promised, let me show you variations. Same paper. Are you ready? Ta-da. Variation number 1. In this version, I use the flip side of that Cogs paper. See this coolness here? I use that as my base. And I just added Cogs. Boom. That's it. No fussy cutting. Nuvo drops. A stamped sentiment. Super easy. Totally different look. Third one I wanted to show you is this one. Now this is an A2 format card. Okay. I cut, fussy cut just like we did with the first one. Added some Cogs, added some Nuvo drops. Same exact products. 3 different looks. What? What is this magic? How cool is this? I kind of love this paper. I'm glad I bought packs of 25. I wish I bought the kit, I think. That's what I'll put the link to. Because I wasn't familiar with the kit. I just saw this paper originally. And so I bought a 25 pack. Can't say that I have buyer's remorse because I do love it. But the collection itself is so beautiful too. So subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. Let me know what you think about today's crafty goodness. We got a little messy today. It's kind of fun. Did you see any products you've never used before? Do you see products you've seen used better? I don't know. I'm not saying I'm the best. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for crafting. Check it out and try it out. Let's make some stuff. Bye.